So, hi everyone. So yesterday we discussed the course map. So we discussed what we are going to learn, and so these 15 modules I showed you, like these are the 15 modules we'll be going to learn in this course. Uh, yeah. So let me go to the module one. So, so module one will be an introductory section of what PostgreSQL and relational database is, and where we'll be discussing these topics. So yeah, so yesterday I just created this simple prompt, uh, like how to create a, like I told, I just given this prompt to create a PostgreSQL course map. But for ChatGPT to explain and give more detailed examples and explain in more detail, you'll have to provide a more detailed prompts. So this prompt I have not like typed. I also went on to ChatGPT and even and asked ChatGPT to create me a prompt. So I told ChatGPT to create a prompt to explain modules of a course. So I got this output where here is the way they was told me to explain. So I took this example and will instead of these topics, I replaced with the PostgreSQL topics, and rest is the same. So for each model, this will be the way of explaining by ChatGPT. So I created this prompt from ChatGPT itself with this prompt and copied this example prompt, and then I went on to my database module folder and went on to my course map and pasted in the input box here. And uh, so let me just copy it again and show you. So I'll run this step once more. So I'll edit this prompt and paste it again and then press enter. So I'll be getting the output of the given prompt. So as you see, the we are getting the results after uh, giving the desired prompt, and now it's explaining in more detail. So if you give just a brief uh, like brief input of like explain module one, then this may not be the like it will not be explaining in much detail like it's explaining now. So yeah, so let's go through the generated output. What's it's saying. So like there may be some don't expect the chat GPT results to be completely correct, but yeah, after uh, what I'm saying is like nowadays they are almost mm, around 85 to 90% correct in the results they are giving. So yeah, let's begin with module one. So I'll be using this along with ChatGPT. I may be using like websites like W3 Schools and Geek for Geeks for learning PostgreSQL. So because as I told you, the complete output of ChatGPT may not be correct. So we will be using the web-based tools like W3 Schools and Geek for Geeks and more tools, and we'll practice extensively to harden our concepts and understanding. So let's first start with ChatGPT only. So what he's saying, so here it is our module one, introduction to PostgreSQL and relational databases. So The first point is what definition of what is PostgreSQL. So it's saying welcome to the first step of your PostgreSQL journey. Let's start with the star of the show, PostgreSQL or Postgres. Think of it as a super organized digital filing cabinet, but much smarter. What does it mean? So what do you mean? It's Justin Bieber. Let's start with the start of the PostgreSQL. Think of it as a super organized digital filing cabinet, but much smarter. So I need to imagine what is this super organized digital filing cabinet. So in India, we don't use like folder to keep our files. Oh, so it's like a cabinet to storing files. The folder, you know what, how this word folder came. So in like in very good offices, you'll find there are way of storing the files organized in folders. So in the desk, we generally use at the desk when you open the drawer, there will be like separated sections, and it will be tagged like the folder one, folder two, folder for like certificates, folder for uh, like government documents. So in very good drawers, you'll find. So it's saying like that only. Think of it as a super organized digital filing cabinet, but much smarter. It's a powerful open source relational database that helps you store, organize, and retrieve data efficiently. So our purpose is to store the data and access the data. So like when we'll be having in some applications of large scale, then there may be a very like large number of records. Like there may be like millions of records, millions of rows of records. So to store the data, we can just use text files also. But to store and retrieve the data efficiently, we use these databases. So it's a powerful open source relational database that helps you store, organize, and retrieve data efficiently. That's the main point. Store, organize, and retrieve data efficiently. Whether you're building an online store, managing users for a mobile app, or powering complex analytics for a financial dashboard, PostgreSQL can handle it all. So what we'll be storing in an online store? We'll be storing some product details, like the product description. Managing users for a mobile app. So users itself is an entity. One means users can be considered as some information. Suppose we are a user, we have our Aadhaar card. So in Aadhaar card we have so many details. So user itself has having a much of lots of description. Or powering complex analytics for the financial dashboards. So like the nowadays there are a lot of tools like Power BI, Tableau, which can use data from PostgreSQL and create the graph like dashboards, visual dashboards. So it is telling that powering complex analytics from a financial dashboard. PostgreSQL can handle it all. What you'll learn, you'll get introduced to what PostgreSQL is, how it works, and why it's trusted by companies like Apple, Instagram, and Reddit. Histories and features of PostgreSQL. Let's time travel. PostgreSQL has been around since 1980s. That's more than 30 years of engineering refinement. Originally born as a part of research project at the University of California, Berkeley, It evolved into one of the most feature-rich database today, robust and feature-rich databases today. Some of its coolest features: ACID compliant, your data stays consistent and safe. Extensible, you can add your own data types and functions. Support for JSON, ideal for modern web apps. MVCC, multi-version concurrency control, helps with fast, safe, and multi-user access. So why we are studying this background? Knowing the background helps you appreciate why it's so stable and respected, and gives you confidence that you're learning an enterprise-grade tool. So in short, like what is saying is like PostgreSQL is not very new like technology that is being used. So it's been since 1980s. So suppose when we write a software today, so it will be just like starting today. So since 30 years it's been being uh, coded and defined. So it's a very mature database. So it was a research project at one of the best universities in USA, like University of California. And now it's a feature-rich database used by many companies. Some of its coolest features acid compliant. As I told you yesterday, so why this property is important? Like for critical transactions, we need relational databases. Uh, and it's extensible means you can add your own data types uh, and functions. So there are some inbuilt functions, and to extend the functionality of Postgres, you can add your own functions. So there is support for JSON means earlier the data exchange format for many applications were web like XML. So nowadays there is like communication between applications happening in JSON JSON format, and now it's also like if there is an RPC based communication, then there will be like binary format also. So it's web applications evolve, but currently the most popular format for data exchange format is JSON. So PostgreSQL can support JSON also. But most probably, if there is a only requirement for JSON, we will be using NoSQL databases. There is a support for JSON, but NoSQL is dedicated for JSON database, JSON document format. So yeah, just to let you know. Multi-version concurrency control. Uh, so like when we are updating a database, there may be like not only a single user updating one time. There may be multiple many requests, like in millions also. So helps with fast, safe multi-user access. Then there may be some thread pool created, and the database will be updated like uh, concurrently. Means many users can update the database at one time. So there is support for concurrency. Now let's understand what is RDBMS. So we told we will be learning PostgreSQL, but and which is a relational database management system. So let's understand the reason engine that powers it. Relational database management system. And RDBMS and RDBMS helps you organize data into tables, that is rows and columns. See if you have used an Excel file. So in Excel file we have rows and columns. So tables is similar to that. Uh, Now DBMS helps you organize data into tables, rows, and columns, and connect them with relationship. So what it means is like there may be two tables, and they may have some relation, like one call, and to connect the two tables, there may be some column connecting them, like maybe your ID. Uh, so you may be user may be having some ID, and suppose buys a product, the product also has an ID. But so there may be some purchase table. So then who buys the product? So to associate this like there is some ID. So this is the what it means by relationships. So we can connect the tables using columns of one table into another table using like foreign key and all. So yeah, we'll be learning these concepts, tables and rows, primary and foreign keys, relationships like one to many to many, etc. Real world example, think about an e-commerce store. You will have one table for customers, one for orders, and one for products, and they all relate to each other. That's what ARDBMS helps me. I just told you. What you'll gain, a clear model of how relational data works. So we'll have a mental model of relational data, and it's crucial before diving into SQL queries and table designs. Now just have a brief comparison summary of PostgreSQL, MySQL, and Oracle and SQL Server. So these four database, these are four popular RDBMS. So PostgreSQL is an open source. MySQL and Oracle belongs to Oracle, and SQL Server belongs to Microsoft. So there are many. So PostgreSQL is being used, can be generally used in startup companies. MySQL and Oracle is like enterprise applications. SQL Server is used by Microsoft technologies like .NET framework and all. So it's not like they're just assigned to only one technology, but they are. That's how it's being used. There are many database systems out there, but and you might be wondering why PostgreSQL. In this topic, we'll compare PostgreSQL with other popular players like MySQL, Oracle, and SQL Server using plain language. So PostgreSQL is an open source, feature-rich, and standards compliant. As I told you, it's an open source database. So you can also contribute if you want to. Feature-rich and standards compliant. MySQL is great for simple web apps, often used with PHP. Yeah. So when we are just getting simple web apps, then we can use MySQL. Oracle is for enterprise level, expensive, very robust. SQL Server is strong Microsoft integration. So SQL Server is used with .NET framework mostly. Think of it like this: there are all tools in a toolbox. The more you know about each, the better decisions you can make. Use case: if you are working at a startup and want full control, PostgreSQL is the go-to choice. So let's have a brief architecture overview. So how is it processes like so what we are going to learn the processes, the memory and storage. Just like a car has an engine, PostgreSQL has an internal architecture that makes it powerful. So you will explore processes, backend processes like postmaster, vacuum, and background workers. Memory buffers and caches that speed things up. Storage, how your data is physically stored and indexed. So we can like just to have an analogy. So we can imagine a restaurant. The chef is a process that cooks. The pantry is the storage, holds ingredients, and the wait staff connections serve customers. PostgreSQL works in a similar coordinated way. So So these three are like processes, memory, and storage. They work in combination uh, to have an efficient RDBMS like PostgreSQL. So there will be like some backend processes like Postmaster. So when the database is running, we don't shut down the database. It's running continuously till the application is up. Uh, so there may be there is a background processes like Postmaster and auto vacuum and background workers. So which work to process the data queries, SQL queries, and all. And memory like the RAM is called a memory. Buffers and caches that speed things up. So there is some data that is stored in memory which is used to speed up the query process. And there is a storage. So actual database is not just small memory size. It may be in GBs like and terabytes. So the actual there is a hard disk to store the data and index the data. So in brief, these three processes, memory and storage, uh, work in combination, and depending on the RDBMS providers, uh, how efficient these three are being utilized, uh, makes the database more popular and all. The PostgreSQL is currently the go-to choice for most companies. So what we learned in this module sets the foundation for everything else. So what PostgreSQL is, why it's a great choice, and how relational databases are structured, and the key differences between them. And I also like with this some process memory and storage, how they work in combination. These are some inner workings of PostgreSQL. So if you want to go in depth of this, like consider learning from some experts. We are all learning together. So if we'll have a good hands-on on the actual uh, basics, then we may advance on this, like how this works, like postmaster, auto vacuum, and background workers. So yeah, so with this we can conclude our module one through ChatGPT. So yeah, we'll meet again in the next video.